would help with the records. And you can see the clear picture right here, getting clearer as the day opens up and brighter morning. And you have these guys really certain that they want to do the races. There's something about marathons. It's not about who starts the fastest. Sometimes you laugh at them when you see someone running like it's a sprint race. It's a 42-kilometer race, just to remind you. And it's up already.
Well, the warriors of the road have trained for months, yet perhaps a lifetime to claim the ultimate prize. Well, the title of champion, the adoration of the masses, and the sweet satisfaction of pushing their bodies to the very limits of human endurance. And on this most romantic of mornings, Valentine's Day, the stakes are higher, the emotions are closer to the surface, and the drama is distilled to its purest, most breathtaking essence. The 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon is well and truly underway. New routes, 42 kilometers, and here we go.
I must tell you that the course weaves through key Lagos roads, including sections of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, like we mentioned earlier, testing endurance against Lagos' warm tropical climate, which we're not seeing today. It's actually a cool one, as against the planned kind of climates that we're used to. Raining maybe for the first time in a long time on the Lagos City Marathon. I can't actually place my mind on any, but the beautiful fact is we're going to be looking forward to seeing them round off this race at the Atlantic City in Victoria Island, where we'll be having the one to cross the line first, win himself and even herself some huge amounts of money, which I think I will leave to the man who is able to lace the shoes of the top athlete to mention. Emmanuel, I think you should take over from there.
you had to do that. I was about to allow you the free will to also continue your description of what you could see on the screens, but I mean, we've got two races for you, the 42 kilometers and also the 10 kilometers. Well, this one is more like, just to maintain fitness, keep yourself fit, but when it comes to the elite races, the 42 kilometers is the one, everyone is keeping an eye on. But I mean, there's no harm in coming out to participate or take part in the marathon. The build-up to this event was really, really massive. Well, some of the athletes just voicing their concerns. That pleasure of running from mainland to the islands, beautiful views along the way, from the National Stadium in Surulere, seeing so many, key points along the road, the Third Mainland Bridge, the Lekki Koyiling Bridge, and now for the new change of routes, the Coastal Road in full view and in full picture. You wonder what the elite runners will make of this new route as far as the 42 kilometers is concerned. You don't want to maneuver here and there, but this is more like, so I get a feeling that the elite runners might embrace this new change of direction as far as the 42 kilometers is concerned.
I think it's going to be easier for them. I won't be surprised if we have the best time, previous record broken, of about 2 hours and 10 minutes with some seconds. Maybe we might be having that because it's more straightforward, like you mentioned. But like I mentioned, the disadvantage could be the fact that you're still running on this side of the race and you already have the leader on the other side and you're looking across. Hopefully, or some of the top athletes are already on the other side. Why am I still running? Why shouldn't I just pull out at some point? It will take one who's really dedicated and focused to finish these races from start. Okay, now I'll even the 10-kilometer race, even if that one didn't have a change. But the elite runners understand this so well, so they'll just take advantage as much as they can. And they are trained for anything. They understand what they have come here to do. It's to win. It's not about where they're running through. Yeah. They just want to make sure that they complete the 42 kilometers and be one of the first runners to round off the race as soon as possible.
These athletes have sacrificed, they've trained, and they've bled for this moment. And now they are ready to lace it up and leave everything on the course. The air is alive with anticipation. as they continue to race. You can join the conversation with the hashtags you could see on your screens. Hashtag Lagos City Marathon 2026, hashtag Run Lagos. It is the 11th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. After a decade, a new race route ushering us into another decade. Still a gold label race. You wonder what more needs to be done to attain that platinum level.
It's a huge one. We've seen what happens across, and it's just beyond the running. Organization is key. Was at the press briefing of the last event, and just a couple of things mentioned. But the focus is to get to that platinum. I think organization is also key. Little things they might mention to you behind the cameras is what you need to put together just to see what the top races like the London Marathon has done to hit that height. These are things you just have to look at. The Boston Marathon, you just have to understand what they've done to put their own races on that level. Sincerely, Lagos City Marathon has done so well. You must give it to them. And how much they put into this to make sure that they hit this height. Hitting gold is also great, and that's just like on second position in a class of, say, 50, and you're that close. So I think that's just a step or two closer to it. Consistency is key, and that's what the team has been able to put together to make sure that this happens. So in no time, I think we'll have the Lagos City Marathon hit platinum. And prize money is also key, Mano.
Yeah.
And that will attract even more outlets where you'll be seeing the best of the best to also come to Lagos, Nigeria, to have their own races and take the money home.
When you talk about the Boston Marathon, it took 33 years before it attained that platinum label status. The Lagos City Marathon, just 11 years into the making. Still, some work needs to be done, but you could tell they are on the right trajectory, on the right track to make it into the league of the big boys as far as platinum label races are concerned. The Amsterdam Marathon, the Berlin Marathon, Chicago Marathon, the London Marathon, the New York City Marathon. These are marathon races that have attained that height of being labeled a platinum race. Are still in the gold label category. The Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, hoping to attain that height. 7 minutes into the race, still early days, still the elite runners clustered together. You could tell easily that go to the East African nation, Kenya. I've got prize money for elite runners, just to put that in perspective. Under the official breakdown, the winner of the 42-kilometer elite race will take home prize money of $50,000, while the second place finisher is going to take home $20,000. The third position is valued at $15,000, with athletes finishing fourth and fifth, receiving $12,000 and $10,000 respectively. Further down the field, the sixth place finisher will earn $8,000. Seventh place is rewarded with $6,000, while the eighth place athletes will receive $4,000, which was what that young man from Nigeria got last time out by virtue of finishing 8th position. I'm talking about Boy Gang. For Nigerian athletes, they're also set to benefit significantly. Millions of naira have been earmarked for the Nigerian marathon category, with the winner set to earn 2 million naira in prize money. And prize money cascading down to the 10th position, a structure aimed at promoting inclusiveness and sustaining motivation among local runners. Again, Boy's impressive performance last time out not only earned him a prize of $4,000, but also the top Nigerian finisher award of $2 million, like as you rightly mentioned. Double prize money for that young man last time out.
I almost wanted to become his friend immediately, money. Sincerely. At least it's the closest one to me in Nigeria. It's all good. I think I woke up from that dream. What's a good one for him? Amassing such money. And that's because he actually put his energy to this. Winning on 2 sides and being the first Nigerian and also being in the top 8. That's huge. That's just how to make it happen when you want to compete in races like this.
A special mention to the Nigerian ladies who finished in the top 10 last time out. The top 10 Nigerian ladies, rather. Solomon Blessing, Elizabeth Power, Dale Patience, Mary Joseph, Faith Jagade, Fayoma Lydia, Neka Dimegu, Abbas Ayinke, Peter Side, Pamela, and Mercy Honesty. The top 10 Nigerians at the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Well, the 2026 edition is still on the way. On Valentine's Day in Lagos, the streets are still dark. 13 minutes into the race. The acceleration is really pumping for those runners as they hope to maintain the endurance to finish this race. At a huge prize money, the end goal. Some personal best also to achieve if they could go on to achieve that one.
Records, like you mentioned, are always meant to be broken. The challenge now will be, or the question will now be, will it be on a morning like this? In about 2 hours, we'll be sure who will nick this one. At most 2 hours from what we've seen in the past. And you see the way they take it gradually. So sure that most likely we'll be having one of the 3 guys I mentioned earlier nick this one. From Asai, Geleta on the top list, also on it. And the man who did it in 2021 really focused on seeing what he can do to most likely nick it again, having done it before. Emmanuel Nebe, another man from Kenya. And the good thing about this guy, who's coming back again, Teresa Geleta, just a very young guy, just around 26 years of age. He wants to do it again. He's already 30 now. He was about 26 when he ran that race in 2022. And he's so certain that he has something to offer. What he did in Seville was really huge. And that's a plus on his CV. So coming with that confidence, you know when athletes see guys who have done better than them as far as timing is concerned, it's kind of either pushes them forward or gives them that consciousness that I'm running against somebody who has done better. So it's either I want to do better, or I am. There's a way I'm now short on the records that he's already set. So we're just looking at what these other artists are going to be doing. Good thing is they're not starters. They've been there, done that, won races at different places, and they want to do it again this beautiful year, right here in Lagos. And we're just waiting to see who wins it at the end of the day.
We're talking about who wins it at the end of the day. Kenya's Edwin Kibet emerged victorious at the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, crossing the finish line with an official time of 2 hours, 14 minutes and 19 seconds. We're talking about that young man, Edwin Kibet. He showcased remarkable resilience despite arriving in Nigeria barely 24 hours before that race, leaving him with minimal time to rest after his journey, and eventually going on to clinch that one. Tells you they don't need to do much. Yes, they need to train, they need to prepare, but tells you that sometimes it's symbiotes in these Kenyans, how they partake on in this race.
Like you mentioned, there is need for rest. If you've traveled the distance, you understand what it is, and to stretch your legs, get your body in shape before going on to start off a race. But even if he goes on to be on the podium, it might still affect the pace. What about breaking the records or even doing better than his personal best? These are things we put into consideration. And Kibet is what man we've known as far as this is concerned. And let's see what he'll be putting into this one this time around.
Nehemiah Kipyegon ran second, a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes, 37 seconds, and Bernard Cheriot, not too far away, in third. But the Kenyans recorded a clean sweep in the men's category last time out. But the women's category saw Ethiopia's Shrefa Gehota claim her first Lagos City Marathon title. She led an Ethiopian top 2 finish with her compatriots Guta Meseret Herepa securing second place and Jerono Peris from Kenya rounding out the podium in third. 18 minutes into the race, you can join the conversation with the hashtag Lagos City Marathon 2026, hashtag Run Lagos. Maybe one of these days, I assume I get to participate in these races. Not the 42 kilometers surely, maybe the 10.
Why are you reducing my potential? It's not about finishing it, it's about just competing.
Yeah.
I think you said competing. So I could start off and just run 10 minutes. And I would say I was a part of the 42 kilometers race. It will be on record that I registered. And I actually participated. But a whole lot. When you do road walks or maybe even do warm-ups, especially when you've not done this in a long time, you know how much it affects your body. You feel it so well, and it might even end all you've come to do on that day if you're not careful with balancing it. So these guys, I give them kudos. It's a whole lot running for that length.
Well, the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon continues to draw elite athletes from around the world, alongside thousands of recreational runners, while also commanding extensive local and international media attention. This race is expected to deliver another thrilling contest as these athletes vie for top honors and substantial prize money. All over the years, the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon has seen some dominant performances from Kenya and Ethiopian runners. Past winners have also included Bernard Sang, who won in 2024. There is Galeta, like we've spoke highly of also Iman Naibe in the men's category, and Kebene Chala. There are so many winners as far as Kenya and Ethiopia is concerned. So this race continues to draw these athletes into the shores of Nigeria. And maybe perfect timing for the organizers to enter the new era, unveiling a brand new race route for this 11th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
I think that's the word. The best time after doing 10 races earlier, just go straight up to making it happen. I think that's, like you said, a good time. Just see something new and a different view of Lagos, Nigeria. Like I said, it's also some form of marketing. Because these races are not just run because they want to be run. There is more to be done. There is more to show. And you see the beautiful thing. As much as you have people in front running this race, money, there's still some way, way behind. And the elite runners will always be in front.
That was some announcement of a traffic diversion by the Lagos State government just before this race, urging commuters to plan their movement ahead of time, just to ensure a smooth conduct of the marathon, which will feature both the 42-kilometer and the 10-kilometer races, which is taking place simultaneously, just in line with the traffic management plan. All affected adjoining roads, junctions, and intersections along race 1 and 2 are clearly blocked from the early hours of 12 a.m. and also into noontime as this race continues. And then the road will be opened intermittently to motorists as the race progresses. So good movement from the Lagos State government, who are proudly supporting this marathon race. So the athletes just getting hydrated at strategic points on the race course. Who would get that huge prize money come the end of the elite race? $50,000 for the first position, down to 8th position for $4,000. That's a massive amount of money, but you need to put in the work. You need to show that on the race course. Which is what these runners will hope to do in a couple of hours' time. It's getting brighter as I think the showers now has subsided. The weather getting a little clearer as we approach into the morning. See the beautiful views of the coastal road.
just looking forward to when this will be fully completed, the coastal roads, just on the side, a 700-kilometer project under the development and so ongoing. Started off as a 2025 by the Federal Ministry of Works. It's planned to run from Victoria Island in Lagos right here to Calabar, Cross River State. This highway will pass through the likes of Ogun State, Ondo State, Edo State, Delta State, Bayelsa State, River State, and even Akwa Ibom, before ending in Calabar. But it doesn't mean the runners are doing the same, just to give you that caveat as quickly as possible.
Just to let you know, we've got some pacers also taking part. They've got their own responsibilities, just making sure that some group of runners maintain a particular pace. So you don't mistake a pacer for an actual racer. Approaching half an hour into the race. It's time to show some endurance. Still some crucial points of this race to come. Men from East Africa leading the charge. Right, fully predicted. I think that's the easiest prediction as far as this race is concerned. You expect these guys to take an early lead and maybe maintain it till the very end.
And sometimes you don't judge by where they are at this point. You see some of the females also trying to do what they have to do to also compete. And the females are taking it easy. They understand this race so well, they understand the altitude. They're doing all they can to make sure that they don't miss out on where they are going. It's a beautiful race we are seeing. That's a guy also taking it easy. Also got a couple of pacers. Pacers like Gilbert Kid Gosai, Kid Kuto. And there's also Bernard Chicher. And what these pacers do is to help you get on the race, keeping you on track, giving you that motivation and giving you direction. That's the view of what it looks like on the coastal road. You see the females on your right, from where they are leading, and the men also on the left. Just to make sure that the ladies are not left out, we have to give you both screens so you can have a clear view of what it looks like at this point in time. This is the elite runners. The elite runners are actually doing what they have to do. And they are gradually increasing their pace after just about 30 minutes into the race.
Getting intense, still the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2026, the 11th edition of this race that's attained huge heights. Who would claim the eventual prize come the end of the day? And so far, yet to see a Nigerian runner on the race course as far as the 42 kilometers is concerned. You can see the stark contrasts in intensity in the male race and also in the female race. Men still looking like they've got the energy.
They've got to get the energy in, and they are putting all they have got. There has to be that difference. Takes you back to those debates you had back then in high school. What a man can do, a woman can do better. Or what a woman can do, a man can do better. But that's not a competition at this point. You go into some other games like tennis, and they are already pushing to have equal pay. But I remember the game between Nick Kyrgios and Marina Sabalenka, the battle of the sexes that was played. Was it last year or early this year? I think it was late last year. Put them on a silent mode again, because you imagine how much of a distance Nick Kyrgios is currently in the world of tennis. Very low behind, and you have Marina Sabalenka as #1 in the world of tennis, beaten black and blue by that man Nick Kyrgios. Just to tell you that the competition is the same, but how much these guys bring into the game is huge. So I think some of this argument are not needed. Let's just enjoy the game and give everybody what they are made to do. God understands why He made the men to be stronger physically, and also when it comes to physical events like this, and why He puts the women also on that level. So it's beautiful to see. A race is also like this. We don't have to argue with the fact that men will always do better. Maybe 1 or 2 women will also go past the men. Not all the men will finish above the women. That's what makes it even beautiful. So it's a mixed event, but we know that the men will always have a better time. And that's why you have a man like Kelvin Kiptum having the best time for men as far as the history of marathon is concerned. He did that in 2023 with a time of 2 hours 35 seconds at the Chicago Marathon. And you just have Kipchoge as a man who also ran 2 hours and 1 minute. This was, the Berlin Marathon in 2022. And you just look at it, like you mentioned, the stark contrast with what you have for the women. 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 4 takes Sefa who did for Ethiopia just in, what year was that again? Let's try it, 2025, just last year. So records are still being broken. But no matter how they try to do it, you cannot have them come really closer to us. Maybe much later in the year, because there's always something to break. And people will start seeing 1 hour plus in the next couple of years. And it's getting really brighter. We can see the ladies we're talking about on our screens, looking so beautiful. And they've got into this one and taking their time to at least be amongst the best. And you can see the pacer also just by them. The pacers don't have their own numbers on them, and that's just to keep you to always meet up with that level that you have placed for yourself and keep you motivated as you run the race.
Taking us through the race, and also admiring the ladies as well.
Just confess.
Taking you all through the race course once again, beginning from the Oka Mall and into the iconic Coastal Road, as they continue to pace and endure and show their tenacity and might before making it to the finish line, where you could see that turn. You go in through and then into Echo Atlantic City, where the finish point is the goal for these elite runners as far as this race is concerned. Not an easy one. Maybe it looks easy and straightforward on paper, but it takes a whole lot of grit, a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of strength for you to make it here in one piece.
Easy. As you see the route map, the graphical route map I'm showing, you just feel the race is like that. For 2 kilometers is not a joke. I just mentioned that the coastal road length is about 700 kilometers. So imagine one running 42 kilometers by foot. You can start doing the calculation yourself. Not the best when it comes to maths. I think Manny graduated as the best for mathematics. But I'm just telling you how much these guys put into it. You must give them kudos for bringing that determination in to make this happen.
Well, it's getting intense now as far as the women category is concerned. You could see the physical struggles compared to what you saw from the men a couple of minutes ago. Well, talking about the progression, as far as every edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon is concerned, it has been truly phenomenal. Those were the words of, one of the key figures as far as the race is concerned, Mr. Nadim Khan, who is the president of the International Association of Ultra Runners, who's praised the marathon's steady development over the years, describing its progression as remarkable. Still going strong, showing that they are no slouch. The women's category. Hopefully you want to see all these runners make it to the finish line. You don't want to see a couple sustain an injury just before the finish line. We've seen stories like that where you're seeing the prize, but you just couldn't get there.
It's a painful situation, Manny, and it's not something you wish anyone. But it's just almost a certainty that you have it. But like I said, it's not what you wish, but almost will happen. People will have cramps, some will miss land on their footings, and it gives them a challenge. that might just be the end of the race. And that's why we have the ambulances also as part of the race, to make sure that they are supporting and following up at every point in time. So it's a great move to see that this is happening, and I'm looking at the quality of energy that these guys are putting in. 41 minutes gone already. And just to give you a picture, for those of you who understand Lagos so well, or maybe you drive, this race is about the distance where you have moving from, say, Lagos Island to Ota. That's the distance. So you just picture that in your head. That drive is about an hour, or maybe a bit less, and you are making that run in 2 hours plus. You must give kudos to these guys. It's not even about how much time they do, it's about even finishing the race. That's why I give kudos to even the Nigerians and every other country and every other athlete that has come here to participate. Running for 2 hours, and you're covering a distance from, say, the start of Third Mainland Bridge to Ota. That's how distant that is. That's like cross-country already, because you're moving from one state to the other to cover that 42-kilometer race. It's a big, big one for the athletes, and I must say that they deserve every kudos, every money they earn, every recognition they also gain. It's really beautiful to see that these guys come in year out, and they are waiting for the next one to come up. You'll be surprised that next month they are in some other marathon races again, and they are always waiting for it to come to pass, because that's where they make it, they earn a living and also save for the future. Because just like the scripture says, there will be a time you cannot compete again. There will be a time when night falls, you cannot see to be amongst or be awake to do the same thing you did during the day, or you should have done during the day. So it's like a future for them. It's like them planning their future already. It's like them doing as much as they can to make sure that a good life is what they have at the end of the day. So it's a good race. It's a good career. But it takes a lot from these guys. You don't see them adding unnecessary weights. But look at what some of them are doing already. It's something you want to always respect them for. That's why when I see marathon runners, there's this separate respect I give to them. There's this separate honor I give to them for what they've been able to do over the years.
Approaching an hour into this race, we've still got ample time to make that official. 43 minutes into the race, as we continue to enjoy this beautiful view of the Lagos State infrastructure. Hilary Kiptum, Emmanuel Naibe, Silas Chepfo, all three from Kenya, competing today in the 2026 edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Well, the list is made up of runners and their respective compatriots. But no doubt Kenya has got more numbers. On the weekend, on a Saturday, commuters still very much
involved in your respective business, athletes and runners made their way down. Some more hydration, getting hydrated. Strategic points along the race course.
Surely has to be strategic because it's needed just to keep that body hydrated. And you can see some of them accepting. Some will just say no at this point. They just want to run the race. They know how much they need. They also check their time to see how much more they have to cover. 46 minutes gone already. And this guy's main business you'll be surprised that the winners most times don't just accept water. Maybe after the half-hour mark or after the 1 hour mark, you start seeing them take something light. Sometimes they get really close to it. Sometimes some of them run almost all through with just very little hydration to keep them up there. And you wonder how they do it. There's no need to wonder. They've actually sacrificed their lives for this. Most likely they have no other jobs they do. They wake up in the morning and they are up there.
We've got Mamutala Kefa Lumbasi from Uganda, Lomo Ishamo also from Uganda. South Sudan and Ethiopia, well and truly represented. Now the Kenyan, we hope that they would go on to nick this one, not just as far as marathon races are concerned, even in junior championships. When it comes to those 10,000 kilometers, 15 kilometers, they know how to dominate, not just also in the elite age groups, even in the junior age groups as well. They've been groomed from the onset. They love to run and run for long distances. To join the conversation, just to remind you, hashtag Lagos CT Marathon 2025, hashtag Run Lagos, and also keep tabs of everything as regards the race by following the Lagos CT Marathon handle across all social media platforms.
Some beautiful scenes right here, I tell you. The atmosphere is just looking all cool. I think this will help the athletes last longer. Just, you know how much heat takes away from you.
Takes a whole lot.
So they have a cool weather. Some would have prayed for this. And you just agree with me that the light showers, which was a heavy downpour earlier, that was at midnight, just chose the best time to stop. Kept the weather so cool. I think everything just happened perfectly for the marathon itself. I think the athletes will be thankful, really, really thankful to see that they have a weather like this to compete. So there'll be really no excuses to maybe stop them at any point in time or reduce how much they are put into this, no matter what the result is.
10 minutes shy of hitting the 1 hour mark into this race. Energy reducing. Well, the pace are leading the charge, making sure that every of the runner he's been assigned to will maintain at the very best of pace.
Such a tactical move, I must tell you, when it comes to marathon races and long distance races generally. Having a pacer or two makes the race even more interesting, because you're gonna have a pacer putting all of that energy, and you, who is actually setting the pace for, is slowing down or lagging behind. It's just like a motivation. It's like having a motivational speaker. Like we say, aspire to perspire and all. That's what the pacer does. Just helps you stay on track and understand that there is a time you have to meet, and it's actually pushing every other athlete forward, and it makes it actually interesting with what we see at this point.
Buy any participating Coca-Cola glass or PET bottle and stand a chance to win your share of 600 million naira in cash and seriously tasty prizes. There's 2 new millionaires every single day, plus over 50 million naira in weekly.
Now this time, we've got that man who has leapfrogged everyone into that top position. The man from Uganda. He continues to go, continues to march on. Continues to march on. These athletes just try and do all they can as they want to achieve what will just go on to become a dream for quite a number of them.
Really like what you see, the beauty of the sky. Also pouring down on the athletes. And you can just see how beautiful that is, especially from where the ladies are, just behind. And the men are also having it cool, having their pacer still lead them. One who's not actually allowed to win a race. I hope we'll not be seeing what happened in Berlin, the Berlin Marathon in year 2000, where Simon Biwott was hired as a pacemaker but crossed the finish line as a winner. This is what you call over Sabine and local parlance. It makes really an interesting one. How do you get hired as a pacemaker and you go on to win the race, man? I'm sure you must have killed the phone in year 2000, 26 years ago when this happened.
Do you want to see pacers go on to win races? I mean, it's something that has been maybe beforehand. Is what
It happened in the year 2000, like I mentioned. Simon Garbott, in the Berlin Marathon, was hired to actually be a pacemaker. But he crossed the finish line as the winner of the race. And you wonder how this guy is going to get this happen, or make this happen. It just has to be a part of the race for a record to be valid. But we can actually be winners. But it doesn't, I think it takes the lights off the race itself. If you're hired to do something, why not just do what I had to do and let the race be enjoyed? Let's know the names. But sometimes you come in as a spectator and go on to be the one to score the winner in the championship.
A bit of a scramble there while the runners trying to get themselves hydrated. But talking about pacers, no doubt you could clearly see their importance. You could clearly see what they bring to marathon races. But maybe just going on to win it is something that might just be looked at for subsequent races.
And sincerely, like I said, they are not even supposed to finish the race. That's the standard. At a point, you just see them disappear. The primary role is actually to maintain a specific pace for the other athletes, to help them run and achieve their target times. When you see pacers like that, they are also trained, but they don't come in registered for that race. Okay, I want you to be my pacer, or they come in for a particular group of marathoners who have been doing things together. We say, okay, this guy is going to be our pacer. He doesn't have to finish the race. He's helped us to a particular level. We know we've hit that height. We know we're surely going to finish the race. Then you can pull out at this point in time so we can go on. But like I mentioned, I'll be surprised if we're seeing another Biwott or Biwott in this particular race, because he's putting in so much energy. Sometimes you see pacers just taking it easy. Yeah. But you understand, they always have to be in front most times, so that you are also running that race. And they can run as fast as they can, because they understand that they're not going to run the entirety of the race. In that sense. Except for saying the new move, what happened 26 years ago, repeating itself in Nigeria.
I just needed to be a little careful in that instance. For the crowd enjoying what these runners have showed so far. Just a minute before we head into 1 hour of racing, of real racing here, the 2026 edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. And you said something earlier, Razu. Well, maybe records will be broken, but I mean, this is one major aspect of a change. The price of race course is a beautiful beach view there. And then the camera panning to the female elite runners.
Just takes your mind back to the days when we used to have times right here as kids at Bar Beach. Having those views gives you that nostalgia feeling. Bar Beach now is more of a Atlantic and the likes. And still beautiful. You have at this point in time. Look at the great feel it gives you again. You just be by the water again. I never actually swam
in a beach.
I never did. Not even in the bathroom. Maybe a bathtub at some point. I never had those experiences. Riding a bicycle, going to the beach to swim. I was just at the shore, enjoying myself and watching the athletes went through. I think I was satisfied. I wanted to do what others were doing, but it was never my thing, so I never forced it. Man, you look like one who loved the adventures.
Sounds interesting.
You didn't answer my question. It's not why it sounds interesting.
I'll keep that for later.
Okay, that makes two of us. Not answering the question means that I'm correct.
Going toe-to-toe, the male and the female category. The 11th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. 42-kilometer race still ongoing. We are officially an hour into this race. And after an hour or so, so far what you've seen, a great determination from these runners.
I don't think my mind has changed. I still have the guys I mentioned earlier as my top runners for this one, who most likely will be nicking it. And the joy is the fact that they're still very much right there, running with so much consistency. And you have a man who is second on the list when you talk about best of times, with 2 hours 11 minutes, still looking to do what he did in 2022, 4 years after, returning again to say, okay, let me pick up where I left off. And that's what makes the race actually interesting. Galata is the man I'm talking about. He's actually been there, and he's done that, and he's looking to do it again. The rest of Galata has a strong competition with Iman and Nabai.
A bit of a 20 kilometers into the race. These runners are currently at the Meridian Boulevard Estate as they continue to race through the race course. And wherever you are listening to the sound of our horses, we hope you've enjoyed the race so far. Still a lot to come your way, so you continue to enjoy this broadcast from the comfort of your home. We've got the entertainment come the end of the race. We've got some couple of sound bites, interviews as far as this race is concerned. And to wrap things up here at the Echo Atlantic City, it's an A-list artist to bring the excitement on the stage for all your entertainment and pleasure. But just before that, the major part of this event is what we are currently witnessing. The race itself, the 42 kilometers for the elite runners, male and female category. 1 hour, 3 minutes after we began, these runners still very much giving this their very best, giving this their very all. With the end goal, that's huge prize money and also some personal bests to achieve.
Rap Joy, unleash
Those of you watching this race from the comfort of your homes, I hope you're having the very best of times. It's a special day as far as the lovers are concerned. So we're keeping our minds open, we're keeping our fingers crossed for something special here at the finish line. Maybe a proposal from somewhere. But don't get it twisted, we're still here, still the 2026 edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. On our 7 minutes of intense race so far. Maybe I would continue to emphasize on how crucial the pacers have been so far in this race. They are in the hearts of every aspect of the race. Maintaining decorum, maintaining pace and acceleration of all the runners. Headline sponsor Access Bank for the Lagos City Marathon. They've done this for more than a decade. They continue to stand strong, and they've done this from the very beginning, and they've seen the progression of this race going on to attain a gold label status. It's been a great 10 years of marathon. It's been a great 10 years for Access Bank to have gotten themselves involved in this.
Huge 10 years, I tell you, Manny. Really, really huge. And consistency, like I always say, is key. And that's what they've been able to do from the days when Ibrahim Kiptum won the first edition, won the second edition. We had a change with the Frenchman, Ibrahim Kiptrostic, winning the third edition. Going on to a man from Ethiopia, Sintayo Legese, up until 2024, where we had a Bernard Sang that same year. Very beautiful stuff on the and then last year also we saw a great race, and we saw keep it. Top 8, and has just been there, standing tall. And the target is moving this race to that platinum label, where they can actually compete with the rest of the concerned. But sincerely, I mentioned the Seville marathon earlier. They are way behind the Access Bank marathon. The marathon in Spain, just on the third and fourth level, the elite level, which is where they moved away from. So it's really beautiful. There's a lot that has been put into this money-wise. In 2022, the money was still around $30,000 for the winner. And look at what we have in 2026, almost 100% increase, about 70 to 80%. So money-wise, organization-wise, improvements. I think the team has done greatly well. And you must give it to Nilal also, the team behind all of this, and putting their energy to make sure that all is organized to a near perfect level. It makes it all interesting, and it makes it really competing. And that's why you see athletes from different parts of Africa hearing about this and wanting to be a part of this.
Side by side view the female elite runners and also the male elite runners. It's been over 20 kilometers for the male categories, but for the female category, as they were to clock the 20-kilometer mark in this race, you can clearly see which one is more intense. Looks like the pacers look like he's limping there. Not running in some comfort. As he tries to shrug it off. Seems he has.
Oh, I see clearly. I think there's possibly a situation that he has pulled something. Looks like he's limping towards his left knee, but I'm still putting in that energy. And I think this is where you start seeing the other athletes, the marathoners, the competitors, take over from here as we move towards the half-hour mark. That's after the full 1 hour, to make it 1 hour 30 minutes. You start seeing those athletes take over, and you start seeing them separating themselves gradually. You understand the timing and all, and that's why you see them just teamed up with themselves, making that race so interesting at this point.
Giving tabs across all our social media platforms, pre-race, during the race, and also post-race. And join the conversation with the hashtag Lagos City Marathon 2026 or hashtag Run Lagos.
And to be some joy to see that the athletes run anything close to 2 hours. Because you have the target being the platinum label, where they'll be rivaling the likes of the Amsterdam Marathon, the Berlin Marathon, the Boston Marathon, the Chicago Marathon, the London Marathon. You've also got the Nagoya Women's Marathon in Japan. There's also the Xiamen Marathon in China, the Valencia Marathon in Spain. So all these marathons put together on that height where they will want to get to Sydney Marathon and the likes. So it makes it really beautiful. And we're looking forward to seeing what these guys will do at the point.
In case you're just joining us, my name is Emmanuel Sebastian, taking you through this race course, and we've still got some of the runners here today alongside my right-hand man, Azubike Onija, taking you through this beautiful race. It's been a wonderful time so far, a wonderful 1 hour, 15 minutes on the race course, the 2026 edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Oh, no mean feat, I tell you, running for 1 hour and 15 minutes. They still got more, maybe not up to 2 hours more, but close to. Depends on how they could make it to the finish line. The intensity continues to increase as far as the male are concerned for this race. All the females are now left out as well as they continue to chase. Maybe not chasing the men, but also trying to get onto their own records as well. To just make their turn along the coastal road, 20 kilometers. Still all the way behind the men, but I mean, competing amongst themselves.
Also have their pacer leading them, leading the park. The man on orange, making sure that they are looking up to someone as they run the race. And he also has to control the space as the ladies are even taking over from him gradually. Over 20 kilometers run by these ladies.
The tempo is gradually increasing. The men also up in the ante as they continue. They're trying to gradually increase the pace now of the race. Well, it is time that they would get to approach the finish line. Still some ample time, some ample distance to go. But now they would continue to run, they would continue to accelerate, they would continue to chase as they hope to make it strong and energetic into the finish line. Remember, the first prize of $50,000 is currently at stake for the elite runners.
It's just beautiful to hear amounts like that. And I know you're already bringing out your calculator to do the calculation. But one thing you must understand is the fact that converting this money to other currencies might not give you what you have in Nigeria. But even at that, $50,000 anywhere should actually do something good for you as a person. But I think these athletes will want to be sure where they're going and what they have on ground before they travel down. So that's why you have to hit that height, that platinum height. But a gradual process. Ladies are dedicated, they are focused, they've got that grit. They're currently pushing with all energy. You can see how they're taking it gradually. Like I said, once you hit that 1 hour 30 minutes mark, just about 9 minutes from now, you will see even an increased pace because they will start separating themselves and know that the next 25 to 30 minutes is to run it all through, especially for the men because they finish just over 2 hours. Say 2 hours, 5 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, you start seeing the fastest runners. And you can see it already. They have started, you can start seeing that there's a separation. They were all on the same line. But you can see the man who's leading, separating himself, more like the boys from the men at this point. And that's what makes the race actually interesting. because they know they're closing down. So this guys is really putting in that energy, catching up is what we're seeing right now. It's looking like what it was before, but like we mentioned earlier, you could find more by just going on your X account, formerly Twitter. Lagos City Marathon is the official account for this. You can also use the hashtag Lagos City Marathon 2026 or Run Lagos. Any of these hashtags and will work for you on X. Join the communication. Join the conversation actually, and let's see how much you are enjoying this. Let's know what you feel. We know how much this goes a long way to improve the races subsequently, as we focus on the 42 kilometers race for now.
One hour, 23 minutes. Who would make it as the first man across the finish line? I'll try my best to take you through some of your thoughts across social media as far as the hashtag is concerned. So if you want to air your thoughts and opinions, just make sure you use the hashtag Run Lagos. Some more hydration along the way. Very, very important, crucial parts of marathon races. A massive shout out to all our sponsors. As you can see on your screens, who's proudly supported this event today. But as far as the hashtag is concerned, Jokanola on X has come out to say, I'm pretty sure there's someone who's planning to propose at the finish line today. I beg no triumph. Let us enjoy our own, none of those love shenanigans. So I don't know if you share same sentiments. It's a season of love, it's a period of love.
It's not even just the season, it's the day of love itself actually. The 14th of February. Valentine's Day, and this is the day the race is run. So it must be spectacular. There has to be something different. There has to be some standouts. And I tell you, it will make the event even more beautiful. And you might not see that on our cameras, but surely. That's why we'll have social media and the hashtags. Please put the hashtag Lagos City Marathon 2026 or Run Lagos, or you can use both of them. You can also tag Lagos City Marathon as the X account. So take advantage and let's see which of your posts will come on here. And if you want us to actually get some of them on as the race is on, do as much as you can to keep it clean. If you keep it clean, then we can actually pick one or two and bring them through as the race is ongoing.
Jokanola has indeed kept it clean, but just to too serious. And no love shenanigans. Let's focus on our race.
I must be an activist. Must be a comrade, actually.
Not, definitely not a lover boy.
So a preacher of love.
I'm still here, still at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, the 11th edition. Since its inception in 2016, the very first edition, it has gone leaps and bounds. And the longevity has indeed been palpable.
Just to remind you, we've got some top athletes right here running this race. Talking about Teka Asefa Bayao of Ethiopia. You've also got Demiso Legese Gudeta also on the list. There's Wupshit Misei Jote of Ethiopia also. And you also got Sitayeo Legese Ginesu also from Ethiopia on the list running this race at this point in time. As we look at the names of the elite runners, there is two Hilary Kiptum also on this one from Kenya. Emmanuel Naibai, the 2021 winner, also on the list. There is also Silas Cheboit Cheprot of Kenya, Feyisa Debela Tadila of Ethiopia, Aganeho Atulinga of Ethiopia also on the list. There is Benatang of Kenya, still running this race again. There is also Kiptu Edwin of Kenya, Koech Cherit of Kenya, Alex Chapwick Saiko also of Kenya on the list. You've got the likes of Ezra Kipchumba Kering of Kenya, Wilson Chariot of Kenya, Kip Korea Dennis Kiptu of Kenya, and Namutala Kefan Lubasi of Uganda. We've got about 2 Ugandans on the list. There is also Lumoy Samo, a very popular name when it comes to marathon races. Lots of Kenyans lined up for this one, for the men. And you're just wondering, will the Ethiopians actually nick this one above these Kenyans who have come in their numbers to run this race? A question that'll be answered after crossing the finish line.
Indeed, after crossing the finish line. But there's no way, if you want to make a prediction, you are not going to predict a Kenyan to pick this one. So we approach the crucial times in this race. An hour and a half into this marathon race. The runners still going strong. So far, we've not seen any casualty. Definitely something we wouldn't want to see. All athletes still energetic, still looking vibrant and strong.
Maybe we focus more on the elites. Just get to know that things happen behind the scenes. We can't have everybody at the same time. But the beauty is the fact that everyone is on this race, doing their best to see what they can do, get out of it. We've also got some top elites, some elites as far as the women runners are concerned. We've got Kadisa Bekele Gotama of Ethiopia. You've also got Kasaye Agimas Wubo of Ethiopia. Chalto Tafawaka of Ethiopia is also on the list. We've got Getnet Mebratu yet again of Ethiopia. A couple of Kenyans, but you know, for the women, the Ethiopians always dominate. They've won almost every in the last 10 years, maybe 2 or 3. Are the exceptions they've not been able to nick. You've got Eunice Yawira Buchiri of Kenya, one of the women who is actually married in this race. Gladys Kiptu is also on it. Chemutai Mercy is also on the list. Kimutai Faith Jerothich of Kenya is also on the list. And I wouldn't leave out the Sudanese, the South Sudanese actually on the list. Loliha Atalena also making it down. I tell you, it's all beautiful to see what we have at this point in time. Runners also getting motivation from the side. And that just makes them also do more. Such a joy seeing these guys go all out to run these races. Just a view again, the man focusing. You can see them really nicking and grabbing a bottle of water or drink at this point so they can be hydrated and no one's going down as we close down to the final 30 minutes of the race. When I say final, judging based on records, we're seeing a time of 2 hours 7 minutes. The best for this race is actually 2 hours 10 minutes. That's just the standard that everybody wants to break at this point. But continuity is key. This is why these athletes are taking it seriously. They are edging closer. Just like we told you earlier, you run to a particular point and make a U-turn, run back into Eco Atlantic, and run the last 2 kilometers inside the Atlantic City itself. Race, some of the guys behind, and at least he has himself in front of the ladies. Such consistency, and the man is really doing as much as he can to get to the height he wants to be. It's not easy actually. I think the pride in lone contestant is really key, I must tell you.
1 hour 35 minutes of intense race on the race course. It's the 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. And after an hour and a half, we get to see that clear distance separating the runners. Maybe it will come sooner as the gap continues to build, but so far it's been a close contest for the You could tell we're not too far away now to the finish point. Oh, there's been a marvelous view so far. as far as the Lagos Coastal Road is concerned. I'm sure these elite runners have enjoyed the fact that they don't get to make too many turns, and this change of race course has maybe really been the very best for the elite runners. Yes, you want to see those landmarks, you want to see those hallmark points from the previous race course. Talking about beginning from the National Stadium in Seoul area, you know, practically running from the mainland to the island, but this time strictly all on the island. And these elite runners definitely have had a wonderful time partaking in this race. The ultimate goal is the huge $50,000 prize money waiting for the winner. So whatever you do participating in the marathon, just make sure you finish in the top 8 if you want to be a part of that prize money pool. Nigerian runners also not left out as far as the money bags is concerned. A lot at stake, personal bests to be broken, prizes to be won, names to be etched into history, and also the pride of participating. It goes into the record that you partake or participated in a global event as big as the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Continue to send in your thoughts on social media. Continue to join the conversation from what you've seen so far from the coverage, from the runners who probably have impressed you the most here today. Now, this run is clearly not deterred by the light showers earlier this morning, making the very best of it as they continue to run and have fun. You could see the joy in their faces. Yes, it's a whole lot of energy. Well, like we say, you know, on close quarters, no pain, no gain. You put in the work, you put in the effort, especially when you know that's a huge prize to take at the very end.
Truly no pain, no gain, especially in events like this. You surely see these marathoners get to the end of the race and they feel it. But there is that joy in the end that, oh, I did this, whether for the money or for pride. It's just that pain that they have to go through. And they have to do it while it is early, while they are younger. They have to also keep pushing to say, yes, I was one of the best runners. Look at we talking about the man who is one of the top 20 fastest ever runners in the history of marathon races anywhere around the world. And you look at him again and you say, wow, there is Akeleta, the Ethiopian, who will be looking to do something great here. So it's just all beautiful, and the energy they put in, the pain they go through, the sacrifices they made, just earlier in the year or earlier in their career to reach this height. It's a gradual process, and you just give them kudos for what they've been able to do. Bernard won it in 2024. He's not giving up. The joys that you have him here again for the men. One of the elite runners that will also be competing to win this. It's the beauty of this race that these guys keep coming, keep competing, and keep making the Lagos City Marathon get more credence. We're just looking at how this is going to round off. I should apologize actually that I didn't add Bernard Sang as one of the top runners and the top names earlier.
How did you miss that?
That was a huge miss for me. Just reminds you of that ball control from the Barcelona goalkeeper some days back.
I didn't want to look my pounced, but
I think we should stop at the first goal, actually. I know where you're going, Manny. And we focus on the race.
I'll oblige you this time. Still keenly contested, this one. Close, and really tight race here. We are 15 minutes shy of the 2-hour mark. And what's the time again of our winner for the last edition? Just to confirm to you in a moment.
Just saw a picture of what it's looking like on the finish line. Very beautiful scene. Who's that man that's going to cross it? Now I can add Bernard Sang to the list. Is he going to be the one? The top runner we're looking forward to. A lot of names have lined up, but that man who won it in 2024 is surely one man we're looking forward to. You can also look at the man who won it in 2021. As we're getting closer to the finish line, who's going to make it to podium? Naibai Emmanuel is also on the list, the Kenyan. Two Kenyans actually. And some of the top names that we are looking forward to. And I tell you, it's getting interesting. Look at some of the beautiful faces. The great women who love this game so much. Some of the sponsors also on the sidelines. And you just imagine how much they are waiting for the party after the race. It's going to be party after party, Mano.
Yeah, reminds me of that line, party after party.
That was a song that actually came to mind.
Exactly.
But I just wanted to focus on the race. Our show day is ready to show them today.
Indeed, we are almost there at the finish line. Just to remind you, Kenya's Edwin Kibet emerged victorious at the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, crossed on the finish line with an official time of 2 hours 14 minutes and 19 seconds. And now I've got an hour and 46 minutes so far into this race. It's like that might just be, might take a little less at this time, if I'm not mistaken, to cross the finish line. So you get to wonder if the change of routes will have a hand in it.
Just having that expectation that it might be faster, maybe not breaking the record of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 23 seconds for the men and 2 hours, 31 minutes and 40 seconds for the women, set by Sharon Cherub, both Kenyans, both actually done in 2020. So you see that it must have been a case of weather. We've mentioned that the humid nature that we have right now in Lagos might just play a part in what we have. Starting really early, they are already on 1 hour 47 minutes. When you look at the record that man currently has, the man who we have been talking about earlier, Teresa Galeta, 2 hours 7 minutes plus. We are just about 20 minutes away from the time he has set for himself in 2024 at the Seville Marathon. So we're edging closer to such a track that has been set, and I tell you, it's going to be really beautiful to see how he rounds off at the end of the day.
Well, the female elite runners, slow and steady. They continue to chase, they continue to partake in their own respective race. Who will clinch gold? Who would claim the $50,000 prize money? Anthony Sarton, they've got the tenacity, they've got the energy, they've got the determination and the grit to make it across. But who will be the very first? The 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon has indeed been a spectacle from the very get-go.
And that's what is expected. It's really getting hotter right here for the men. It's getting pacier. The tenacity is really on the high at this point, and you can see how much they're pushing for it. Trying to create spaces for themselves. Even as you have the ambulance behind them, which most likely might not need to play any role as they run this race. Maybe after they cross the finish line, you might start seeing the effect of that. But for now, the eyes is on the prize. And the ladies are also still taking it a bit calmer because they, for what we have as records, still have about 40 minutes to run. But maybe we're seeing something different today, Manny.
That just has to be the mentality. Eyes definitely on the prize. And it's not just a prize, it's a huge, huge prize come the end of this race. Well, the male are almost there, they're nearly there. Nine more minutes to hit the 2-hour mark. Still the 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. In the words of the legendary Manchester United manager, Sir Alex Ferguson. So you want to tell me?
Squeaky bomb. It's a squeaky bomb time.
Squeaky bomb time.
I was trying to rush it. I've never had that split tongue. I've always had issues with split tongues. And we're going to be seeing the Orca Shopping Mall once again on the Montebello Way, Victoria Island, where the race all started, before they get that turn into the Eco-Atlantic City, where they'll be running the last 2 kilometers. What a race we've had. What a time we've seen. What a competition from start till this point. Yes, you might be laughing when you start seeing the 10-kilometer fun run, where some top celebrities will be on it. I won't be surprised if we have our governor on that again, as always. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State. To get it more interesting as we see, I tell you, Ethiopia, Kenya, South Sudan dominating for the women. Just one South Sudanese actually. And for the men, it's Kenya, almost all through. We'll have 2 Ugandans for the elite runners actually. And also about 5 Ethiopians. But the Kenyans actually dominating the list. It has about 62 names of elite runners in this one. Most likely, you might want to actually see a Nigerian, but you don't have too many of them when it comes to races like this. And you can see the ladies already separating themselves gradually, moving and setting that pace. And this is where the competition is going to be. But don't be moved, don't be surprised that the 2 ladies you're seeing in front of your screens right now don't win this race. Some people just know how to pick it up, and when it gets to the final minute, and outpace every other person, saving that energy for the best because of the experiences they've got over time, and it works out perfectly for them. So we're taking it one step at a time. We're just watching what is happening, and we're seeing how it's going to end, because just as much as you are suspense, you're on suspense, we're also on some kind of suspension right here, as far as who the winner will be is. But that's the beautiful thing about sports generally, beautiful thing about life generally. Even though we have a picture of who most likely will make this happen, sometimes we see surprises. A view of the men running again as they are taking their time, increasing their pace gradually, and running closer to the finish line. Just less than 5 minutes to hit the 2-hour mark. And that means we'll be getting closer to seeing the athletes get into the Eco-Atlantic City, where the final 2 kilometers will be run.
The ladies going strong, not relenting, not backing down, showing real fight, real character as well. As we continue to approach the finish point for the elite runners. Talking about the prize money, so I think it's a good thing that it cuts across the first position down to the 8th position.
Exactly. That's really huge.
Instead of a lump sum going to it, maybe a top 3, top 4, top 5, but cut across top 8.
And in case you missed out on that, prize money is $50,000 for the winner. Second is $20,000. Third is $15,000. Fourth is $12,000. Fifth will go home with $10,000, and sixth will go home with $8,000. Seventh will go home with $6,000, and the number 8 will be cutting away with $4,000. For the Nigerian category, also for this 42 kilometers race, you have 2 million naira for number 1, just like we had last year. 1.5 million naira for second position, and third position will be 1 million naira. And this is just to motivate all these athletes, and this goes down that way to 10th position. Intentionally, they make it so that athletes can also participate, and we have that for the 10-kilometer fun run also. 500,000 naira for first position, 400,000 naira for second position, 300,000 naira for third position, and just that way up until number 10. It makes it really interesting. The Lagos City Marathon has been elevated to a World Athletics and Global Gold label race, actually, which means it attracts elite runners from across Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, and even the top guys in Nigeria and other nations. We've seen thousands of participants, including international elites, and mass runners converge on Lagos every year, turning this into a major athletic festival. And we are looking forward to seeing how this is going to round off and who's going to nick it at the end of the day. You can see that tiredness gradually, but the spirit of not giving up as they have been trained like military officers is showing clearly in what we see from this beautiful ladies, who you would meet on the road looking so unassuming when it comes to competing against them. But get on the track, or get on the road, or get on the race course, and you will see the difference between you and them. So I tell you, it's a beautiful race we're seeing, and we are getting closer to Eco Atlantic City. We'll be running the final 2 kilometers with just a couple of seconds to hit the 2-hour mark.
Almost there, nearly there. Remember, we've got some sound bites to come at the finish line of this race. We're going to be hearing from some of the high figures who've graced this occasion today, and also some of the athletes who've took part in this race. You just want to feel their pulse, hear them talk about their preparation, running in the rain, how they prepared for this race here today. So a lot to come post-race, but in the meantime, we're still waiting for the runners to make it across the finish line. Can the Kenyans make another clean sweep as far as the top 3 position is concerned? I don't know if Azu want that to happen, but looks like it would just be difficult because the other countries are all slouch, and like I said, it's been a close call all race so far in this 42-kilometer distance race.
I think we might be seeing a repeat of what we saw in 2021. Meseret Dinke is also very much right here in Ethiopia. She's leading the pack for all the women. She emerged the winner of the 2021 edition of this race. And we also had Kenya's Emmanuel Nebe also win that one for the men. Both of them are in this race, and they are looking like they are leading. Especially for Dinke, who's so certain she's on top position. But it's been some switches. So asking me who or whether I would want a clean sweep, I don't have a particular stance at this point. I'm just open to any results coming up. Even if you have a Nigerian finish number 1, I'm open to it. If you have a South Sudanese, the only one finish, it will even be more interesting to show you that we're having others from different countries come on to win the race. And that's what makes it even more interesting and puts more eyes on what you have right here in Nigeria. So it's a gradual process. But in the end, as we move into the final kilometers of this race, I'm very much open to surprises. And like I mentioned, let's see what that beautiful lady from 2021, Meseret Dinke, will do this time around. She ran a time of 2 hours, 32 minutes and 16 seconds. Yeah, they are kind of way behind the men, but she's actually leading our park. And the last time we checked, as we focus on the men now, who will be getting into Eco Atlantic in a bit. So it's just getting really interesting as we have already crossed the 2-hour mark. It's now 2 hours, 2 minutes, and these men are ready to get into the gates of Eco Atlantic City, where the final 2 kilometers will be run.
2 hours, 2 minutes of intense race. And we are almost at the finish line. These runners have shown great desire, great determination, taking part in this race, and they are nearly there now.
Must also say kudos to LSNC, the Lagos State Neighborhood Security, doing a great job by just keeping tabs on the athletes, making sure that they are also well covered and in safe hands in case anything goes wrong. On the security side, doing their neighborhood jobs. Kudos to you guys. And money is getting hotter. We had about 10 of them earlier. Just 4 from the elite runners now are leading the park.
For the runners, I think it is good for runners. Not like the heavy sun we used to experience, years past. So this is the 11th edition. Now for Lagos State, the deputy governor is right here, followed by the chairman of the NSC. They have made their way to their seats at the Eco Atlantic, waiting patiently for the winners to come in. We will continue with the coverage as soon as we get dignitaries that we'll be talking to much later at the show. So we'll take you back to the race while we're expecting the winners or the runners to come in.
International elite runners.
2 hours, 5 minutes. Maybe one final time to get hydrated. Here they come. Well, these are your top 3. And they are nearly there now. This is what dreams are made of. 2 hours, 5 minutes. And the Kenyans are making sure that they stay champions as far as the Access Bank.
Talk about the coastal road. That's the Lagos Calabar coastal road, which is the new route, being introduced in this year's edition. It's a highway. It's a 700 kilometers, 10 lanes, 5 on each side, dual carriageway project connecting Victoria Island, Lagos to Calabar, traversing 9 states with a 36-month construction timeline that is, but it's ongoing as we speak. So some part of it the construction has been completed, but work is still ongoing as we speak. It is the federal renewed hope project aiming to enhance economic growth and coastal connectivity, with the construction ongoing as early as 2025 using reinforced concrete pavement. So that is talking about the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Like I said earlier, it's one of the freshness being brought into this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. It is the 11th edition. Now the route begins at Ahmadu Bello Way at Victoria Island, Lagos, and is designated to pass through Ogun, Ondo, Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom states before ending in Calabar. Now the connection details reads as the project is being constructed using a reinforced concrete pavement. Now, for the purpose of this, the highway is intended to reduce travel time, also to improve trade, facilitate tourism, and provide coastal protection, connecting major cities along Nigeria and the coastline. So that is some of the details as regards the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. And it's undergoing construction. Like I said, it's one of the freshness being brought into this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. We are waiting for the winners right now, for the runners rather, to run in anytime from now. There are some arrangements that are ongoing, to ensure a smooth, finish for this runner. So we'll get back to you guys later as soon as we get any other information. Thank you.
He knows this is his moment. He knows this is his time. As he tries to keep up with the pace. Our compatriots are able to put up a smile. He knows there's no taking it away from him at this point in time.
But you can see a man chasing after him just behind.
He's not going to get close.
It looks like he's getting closer, because he looks like he's tiring out. The ladies are also doing their thing. The winner from 2021, Dinka, is still leading for the women.
It's a close lead, a really tight one. And she would hope that she doesn't relinquish this lead just before the finish line. Well, you might just be right, has been overtaken.
I saw it coming.
Still competitive, this one. It's a two-horse race in the Eco-Atlantic City. Still looking tight, still looking competitive, this one. Well, looks like he's tiring out now.
Well, still holding strong.
Two hours and 10 minutes into the race. A new race course. And we've got our winners ushering us into a new decade of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. We're not there, but almost there. Finish line not too far. Finish line in sight as they continue to march on. Still got the time to beat as far as our last winner is concerned.
And just as I said earlier, the race for top international honors usually goes down to the tight finish that we always see in the last 10 kilometers. And, you don't also forget the Nigerian athletes who compete not just for position, but for national category honors and substantial prize money, like I mentioned earlier. But look at what we have at this point. This man is actually setting the pace again. It looked like he was tiring out, but actually looked behind him and saw that he was being caught up with, and he gives that distant run. This makes it even beautiful, showing that he's got something inside of him that none other athlete has got. 2 minutes 11, or 2 hours 11 minutes run already. Still keeping that pace, and this makes it even brilliant for him.
And he has done it. 2 hours 11 minutes into the finish line.
And they are showing that they are the best when it comes to marathon races. And he has made it to the finish line. Exchange of pleasantries from McMahon, all smiles. Job done. What a race from the very get-go. Stayed in the race, stayed in the course, stayed in the leading position. And right at the final few kilometers, the ante was upped. We've got our top three. Just crossed the finish line now. We've still got more elite runners to make it, and now they come in their numbers now.
Just makes it really interesting, I tell you. Top race, and from start to finish, just as predicted. They actually separated themselves in the final third, and just how to run the race. And this is just how to win it. This is how to stay strong. This is how to be on the race and from start. They kept it being led by the pacemakers. And look at what they've been able to do at this point. You can see the celebration. The Ethiopian has also crossed. And look at the joy. More than 4 of them crossing the lines, and look at how they are taking it easy. The tiredness is still very much right there. They've just been controlled off the line so they don't affect others running. What a joy for the winners. Lele has also shown that he has made it happen for himself and for his country. Showing that all that work night and day has finally paid off. See the smiles on his face. They are getting through, and they are showing that they didn't just come here to play. Beautiful race that they have run. But you must give it to them for what they have done at this point in time.
The high point of this race is definitely to cross that finish line. It takes a whole lot of energy to run 42 kilometers. We've still got more of the athletes approaching the finish point. You can see them towering out, but you've got to cross that line. You've got to make it to that point to make sure you have a fulfilled race. Prize morning at stake for a top 8 finish. I don't know if we've lost count, if we've got our top 8 already, but we've still got more.
We've actually got our top 8. That makes it actually interesting. Others are still coming through. Still checking his time to be sure that he's done well for himself. The motivation is still very much right there. Huge joy for the athletes. Kandie, this time being amongst the top 15 or so. Another Ethiopian running down to make it up. Tired but not out. 2 hours, 15 minutes. He crosses on the finish line. Have a good record also set this year. Not breaking the previous record of 2 hours, 11 minutes. But I must tell you that it's a good race up for all of these athletes. Kiprotich just crossed the finish line. Not getting what he wants, but that's what he will accept at this point. That's the situation he finds himself. That's the beautiful thing about what you see in races, and that's just the general situation of life. You plan for something else, and something else you get in the end. He does to Kiprotich. He kept his score, but not close to where he would have wanted to be. Another top runner when it comes to marathon races. Kiprotich Kejoy of Kenya. Another man who's been doing this, a veteran of the race, Seboka, has just crossed the finish line. That's another stuff. As we enjoy this, we're still looking forward to seeing what the women, who will be that first woman in the end. Will it be Dinke? That's the question that'll be answered in a couple of seconds. We also have Naibe, the man who won it in 2021, just reaching the finish line. That's a surprise. A huge surprise, and you're wondering how it happened. Emmanuel Naboy and Naibe. Now is the time for Emmanuel to be proud of his name even more. His namesake has finally crossed the finish line.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe if there's someone that can be gotten at the sound rights, just it's quite surprising, like you mentioned, just making it to the finish line, not in the top 8.
That's a huge surprise, I must tell you. One of the athletes I was tipping, Bekele. And that Bekele, not the one you know every other day, has just crossed the finish line. I had to clear that air. That's another top marathoner, and it looks like if you want to be a very good marathoner, you have to be named Bekele from Ethiopia. That's just on a lighter note, actually. Now we're looking forward to seeing the ladies. It's getting tougher in this final third. And we're looking forward to seeing what will happen at the end of the day. Now we've got some dignitaries also right here. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, seated and very much in some smiling face, chilling with the other guys as he's enjoying the race itself. The man who has always been the right-hand man to Babajide, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. Just enjoying every beat of what you have right there. As the athletes are continuing their race, it makes it even more interesting. And you can see the beautiful cheerleaders doing their thing and adding more color to the event. If you just join us, yes, you have missed some parts of it, but you might still witness the winner for the women as they get closer to the finish line. The Lagos City Marathon 2026, the 11th edition is on. A gold label marathon race just behind the platinum label. I tell you, Lagos has really been on a great height from start for 11 years. $15,000 up for grabs. I already know our male winner. Who will be the female winner? Is it the same lady who did it in 2021? Bekele? Or rather Dinke? Question that will be answered in a couple of seconds. As you can see that she's setting the pace again after being caught up a couple of minutes ago. As the ladies are also taking the lead, the women are also pushing. The men are also pushing behind them, and that's just what makes it interesting. I'm so sure that the Deputy Governor, like I mentioned earlier, Femi Amzat, will be happy with what he's saying. Guys are still taking it upon themselves and running this race with their hearts. Their minds. You see this man also has just crossed the finish line. Ethiopian will be joyful with what he's saying. Maybe not really happy. Sekwo is giving all he's got, but not what he would have wanted to get as far as this race is concerned. More still to come as they're taking it one at a time. A lot of people have been separated. They all started the races, but how much have you trained for this? That's the question you ask yourself. It's getting really interesting as we edge closer to the end of the race. Who wants to see what the women will do? Like I mentioned, we just saw Alex Seko cross the finish line, the man from Kenya. The top athlete's coach has just crossed the finish line to check in his own time to be sure what he got. Camera pants on the Deputy Governor of Lagos State again, Femi Hamzat. I can assure you, Manny, that that's a 10-kilometer celebrity runner.
Well, I just hope he makes it to the finish line. It's just fascinating how these runners separate themselves from the beginning of the race, reaching the very end.
So it's just about life. We all start at the same time. Sometimes it seems some guys are very brilliant in the junior classes. But you go back 10, 15 years later, and you're seeing that they don't even have, they're not one of the elite in the society. That's just the way I see this thing. It's a marathon race. It's just a race of life generating. It's a picture of what life is about. It's not about how you start. You might be on the same level, but we must understand that when we leave a particular level, when they leave us, they are not being proud. They've just moved ahead. You have to also work to get to that height. You don't expect Dinke, who's leading the race right now for the women, to be waiting for others because they all started together now. We've separated the girls from the women. And like I said, it's just a perfect story of what life is about. It's a race. And that's why the marathon race is just perfect to describe this one. So Dinke still holding strong with a close competition. I'm sure she's going to leave the close competitor in the beat because this is how they run this race. They take it gradually. But possibly you cannot roll that woman out because she's keeping that tab on her at every point in time. Not even up to a second separating any of them.
Well, we'll wait to see who will pull away from the other into the finish line. But beautiful analogy there just to sum it up. Sometimes you start together with your peers in life, but you don't make it to the finish line together. Beautiful scenario there. A two-horse race for the female category. But going toe-to-toe.
I'm sure a football fan would have just listened and thought about Arsenal and Manchester City creating that two-horse race scenario over the seasons. Now, whether they are going to bottle this one or whether Dinke is going to bottle this one, like they feel Arsenal would do, as they were trending on social media a couple of days ago, calling them Bottle FC, remains to be answered on this race course. Right now she's on second. I just mentioned that it came to pass, but is she going to allow this slide? Mr. Dinke is one we are looking at, and I've mentioned as one of the top athletes for the women. She won it in 2021. Is she going to be losing out on this one? She has a time of 2 hours, 32 minutes and 16 seconds. In fact, she's the second fastest in women's history for the Lagos City Marathon. Trying to just make sure that it's not slippery at this point as they prepare the ladies who are coming in, so there's no casualty or any mess up. Mr. Dinke currently trailing. She had led the race for a long time, and you see some men also still pushing to get through. And I know this man will want to increase his pace right now if he's still got the energy. You know that thing that you have it as a mindset that a woman must not go past me, but can he control this one? Does he have the tenacity, the energy to take it through? These ladies are really showing strength. Dinke is catching up again. Looks like she might be taking that position. Top class race, I tell you, we've seen. Really an international one. really of gold standard. Dinke looks like she's taking a position again. It's looking like a photo finish we might be having at the end of this race for the women. We already know the male champions. We're looking at what the women will do at the end of the day. It's getting really interesting gradually. You just wonder how it's going to round off at the end of the day.
Share with our viewers this morning. So, a Kenyan, in the person of Ezra Kipchumba Kering of Kenya with bib number 14, is the winner of the 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. It's been followed by Lemoy Samuel from Uganda. So I think for this year, Uganda is breaking into that top 3 of the Lagos City Marathon. It has always been Ethiopians, Kenyans, going winning at the end of the day, but a Ugandan has broken into that list for this year. We also have for the third position we have Namuela Kepa Lumbasi. Excuse me, permit me if I don't mention this name or pronounce this name properly. I'm just struggling to pronounce this name. It's also a Ugandan that came third in this year's edition of the Lagos City Marathon. And of course, we've seen the first Nigerian coming here too. We'll try as much as possible to get that name to send it to you. So this is the names I read earlier are the elite runners that has won the race. We have Ezra Kipchumba Kering of Kenya as the winner of this year's Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Now for the second position, we have Lamoy Samuel. He's a Ugandan that finished second in this year's edition. Now, Namutala Kepa Lumbasi is also from Uganda. He's the third, he finished third in this year's edition of the Lagos City Marathon. We're also waiting for the first, the female runners. So while we're waiting for that, we'll just keep you updated on that. So just stay tuned to Lagos Television for more coverage of this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
I'll give you a piece of advice at this point. What's up? Don't just watch the runners. You too can do some running on the spot. It's good for your health. Run. Let's run it. Let's run it. Oh no.
Just a view from what is left as they have already gotten into the city. Just looking at how this race is going to end. I wouldn't mind seeing a photo finish where they have to win with their heads in a marathon race.
I don't think that's going to happen. It's a delight to see if it happens. It's something you will want to see. That pulse, that excitement, that raw emotions as a spectator, as a viewer. Well, it barely happens in marathon races. You see that mostly in short distance races. I'll still go more outlets. You are just hoping, making sure they make it to the finish line. Just don't want to participate. You want to make sure you cross that dotted line And every runner here today will make sure that stays the case.
Now they get into Atlantic City. The ladies, we have been waiting for. The final 2 kilometers is what they are running. As we still have some men on the side trying to also play catch-ups. They are already in the city. They, at least to run for pride. Get the right encouragement that they feel they deserve. Yes, they are not on the top 8, but they are here. There will be some great reward for them. So the ladies keeping tabs on each other. It's looking like a head-to-head race at this point. DK is looking like she's going to take over from the camera angle scene, and other guys are not also giving up. What a race we've seen so far. Just getting really interesting. The man crosses the finish line. But the focus is on the ladies. 2 hours, 33 minutes, I'm gone already. Beat number 2853 crosses the finish line, and he gets a flower. What a show of love on Valentine's Day, man. Now I want to run.
Some improvisation there. I mean, these are the stuff you expect on a day like this, running races like this. Just expect that show of love, that improvisation. And indeed, it happened. Maybe more big one to come. Keep our fingers crossed.
And the man crosses the finish line. As we've seen even more happen. So tired, but not giving up. That determination, if I could get into the city, the 2 kilometers left is not where I will now fall out or fall off. That's the mindset. Steady cleaning of that finish line so that you're not stressed out at any point or missing your steps and sleeping when you've actually crossed the line. It's going to be a very, very painful finish. Just trying to avoid every form of controversy.
It's been over 2 hours of intense race contest amongst males and females going for the honors. Despite the rain, despite the heavy showers, despite the heavy pour, it has indeed been a wonderful race.
Which is the 11th edition. Now let me quickly give you some information as regards this race. It started in 2016 here in the Center of Excellence, and also it attracts $50,000 cash rewards for winners. But unfortunately, no Nigerian has won it. It has gone the ways of Kenyans, Ethiopians, and all that. But for today's edition, we already have winners in the male category. We're expecting the winners in the female category. So in any time from now, we'll get to see the female winners, or female runners, coming. So we are still waiting for that. We have also gotten the first Nigerian male winner, who is right there, but I'll soon get that name. So I'm still working on some things to be able to get the name of the first Nigerian male that won the race this year. But for the winners in the elite category, I read that out earlier. Let me quickly go to my phone again for that result. So we have it's a Kenyan that won that one. So let me quickly read out that name again for those of our viewers who did not get that one earlier. We have Ezra Kupchumba Kering of Kenya is the winner of this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, followed by Lemoy Samuel of Uganda. He finished second. We have Namutala Kefa Lumbasi from Uganda. So we have the first, second, and talking about the elite runners in the male category. Okay, now we have the right now. All right.
Congratulations to you, man. Also gets his own flower. And DK is pacing out.
Out of nowhere.
She was actually in the lead. The woman who won it in 2021 might be winning it again.
Oh, look at that for a finish.
And she does it. DK has done it again. What a race we just had. How did she leave the lady behind? She did it in 2021. She has done it again. Meseret Dinke of Ethiopia. Yes, she couldn't meet up with the 2 hours, 32 minutes, 16 seconds of time. But who cares at this point when $50,000 is at stake?
Oh, nobody cares. They will always come to Nigeria to take away the money. But she wouldn't care, she wouldn't mind. Great smile she's got. Look at that for a finish. The pace. I mean, you could tell how determined she was to make it to the finish line. You could see the passion from her celebrations. I mean, what a race. Great finish. And Ethiopia, once again, in the female category, showing that they are the country to beat.
So much of a pace. She outpaced a fellow competitor. She did it in style, waited for the time, and seems that energy. What a race. This is another lady who has made it through. Gets her flowers. Or a bouquet. Whichever one. The lover boys know better. I have one on my right. I'm not going to mention names. I want to focus on the race.
I'll just smile. Oh, really? I mean, it's a whole lot. We've got the medics just making sure all is in place. So we've got softly female runners also making it to the finish line.
Let's get him to the end, and I tell you, these ladies are truly beautiful. Manny, I know you'll be talking to them one-on-one, but please pass my message. Dinke is just one of the most beautiful ladies. She didn't look like she had run for over 2 hours, I tell you. Almost 3 hours of running. And she looked like she didn't break a sweat. That's true beauty. One who has been on the high altitudes, running this race and training for it. She goes all spiritual at this point. Just the best way to end it. Though she must believe, Christ started with prayers and ended with prayers. In all things give thanks. She didn't have to be the winner to do that. As to see how some runners, or runners rather, trying to cross the finish line. More ladies crossing the line. Some men also holding for pride. Puts his hands in his head. But at the same time, he's crossed it. Beep number 3910. As the medics are still trying to take care of 1 or 2 athletes, just to be sure they are fine. The eyes will play a huge role in this because the body will be so hot at this point. And man, I tell you, beautiful people do beautiful things. So many beautiful faces.
Beautiful faces all around. The medics not left out. Great job. Great.
Manny, you've got eyes.
Great details.
You can see. Mayo still running our race. And they have that smile always. Whether she's crossed the line or not, you have to tell her congratulations. Running for 2 hours, 41 minutes is no joke.
I mean, for every of these runners, for every of these athletes who will cross the finish line, they deserve some congratulations because, I mean, like you mentioned, running for near 3 hours, it's not something for everyone. Whether you're a male, you're an infant, you're a female, it takes a whole lot.
It's a whole lot. Having hydration stations in place at every 2.5 kilometers of this race. Some actually didn't take for about 4 of it. That means about 10 kilometers. They didn't touch anything called water. Medical support and sweeper buses, always available to ensure runner safety. All of this made this race what it is and why we're celebrating it today. The Lagos skyline, the cheering crowds, the hydration stations. The local culture is what we'll be seeing even more just after this beautiful race has been rounded off. But I tell you, that's another lady to celebrate. Mayo. Not sure she's amongst the top 8, but she's done a bit for the ladies. Kichumba Sharon Mayo of Kenya is just across the finish line. I say congratulations to her. Coming all the way down to Nigeria. And the beat, maybe next year, will also be in Kenya. For a different reason, actually, to pay back or return the favor in that sense. Congratulations to you, Jemiah. They have to be the winner. But I celebrate each and every one of them as they cross the finish line. Bouquet is never exhausted. The ladies will also get theirs. Tired but not out. And it reminds me of that man again. I will always talk about him when I get on events like this. When it comes to marathon races, how do I forget John Stephen Aquari, a man who is currently 88 years of age, still alive. He did it in a particular race, broke his leg due to the high altitude, but never gave up, ran that race till the end. And you wonder how he did it. It was in the 1968 Olympic Marathon, while competing in the marathon in Mexico City. Aquari cramped up due to the high altitude of the city. He had not trained at such altitude back in his country. And this man actually did what he had to do. While we're talking about that, Waka just crossed the line. I had to pronounce it in our local parlance. Another lady doing great stuff, and I say congratulations to you. I was talking about a man, John Stephen Aquari. At the 19-kilometer point during the 42-kilometer race, there was jockeying for position between some runners, and he was hit. He fell really badly, wounding his shoulder and dislocating his knee, but continued running. From 19 kilometers, he finished that race, and the attention switched, Manny, from the winner of the race to the man who finished last. He had a standing ovation in 1968, John Stephen Aquari, a man I will never forget. The Tanzanian, who was still being talked about till date because of that spirit of sportsmanship. Having that bandage and everything on his leg, couldn't move his shoulders, but said no way he will cross the finish line. As he crossed that line, a cheer came from the small crowd. His bravery in completing the distance in Jordan alone was immediately noted by international media as an example of the Olympic spirit. Until date, it's still being talked about. And one journalist wrote, "Today we have seen a performance that gives meaning to the world courage. All honor to John Stephen Aquari of Tanzania." When interviewed later and asked why he had continued running, what did he say? He said, "My country did not send me 5,000 miles to start the race. They sent me 5,000 miles to finish the race." What a word. He later received the Medal of Honor from his home country for his efforts. Great man, John Stephen Aquari. And you've seen that with some of the athletes right here. They didn't have to break their knee. They didn't have to fall at some point. But you see that tiredness in them, and they say, no way we're going to see the finish line of this race. And that's what makes the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon one of the best. And that's why we should be on that platinum level, which we are clamoring for. I just talked about this man right now. He has crossed the finish line. Beat number 3714. Getting hydrated and holding on to his bouquet. So pleasant, so beautiful to see. So tired, but never gave up. Congratulations to you, sir.
the beauty of marathon races, like I opined earlier, it's not just about competing.
What are the positives that Lagos State is picking from this year's edition?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think we must thank everybody that is responsible for this. You know, the sports ministry, the sports team, Access Bank, and then, of course, all the family, the sports family. And then, of course, all the athletes that believed in Lagos coming all the way from across the world. So every year, like you said, it gets better. We are lucky this year. The weather is very calm. And then, of course, we also changed the alignment. Now, you know, this year, the running was on the coastal road. So it was a bit straighter and easier for the athletes to see. So the alignment changed. So we see the Fed talking to the athletes and the rest. So like you said, the essence is for us to keep scaling to get better. The essence is to get to platinum, which means all of us that are involved, we need to put in some more money. And then, you know, put in terms of the logistics infrastructure, we are there already. We just need to bring in more money, invite more athletes, and so that we can get to the platinum. As a matter of fact, one of the people responsible for that was just talking to us about it, that we are there. We just need to sit down with them for some paperwork, and then hopefully we can get to platinum. So in terms of what we need to do, we are doing it. You know, it's just that these things take time, and you just have to take that time in order to get it done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You don't have to run. You could just wear it on you and display that Run Lagos hashtag. Checks his time also, and then runs them with that motivation. He's going to cross the finish line. Kudos to you, man.
I'm sure we'll go here. The goal is for us to get to platinum, which is the highest level. It's not an easy ride, but do you think we have what it takes to get there? And have we started that process already?
Yeah, of course, the process is already ongoing. You know, just yesterday, Nigeria hosted the Africa Road Running Conference. It's all part of getting our road races to be the top level. And just as the first race is finishing here, the rep from the World Athletics, supervising the race, came to tell us that this is the best race, one of the cleanest races he has ever seen. It's very clean, it's very good. So we just need to push a little bit more with the investment, with the support, to make sure we reach the platinum level. And luckily, the Access Bank MD was here, he heard about it, so they need to make more investment. The Lagos State Deputy Governor is here. I'm sure Lagos State government will do more. And we too, I'm here, the National Sport Commission, with my DG, will work together to make sure that we do everything possible to get the platinum race. So we are almost there. Probably before the next edition, or in the next couple of years, we'll get there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well done.
The rain had his ideas earlier on, but the runners were determined to carry on, and determined to partake in the race, and the spectators on hand to cheer them on as they cross into the finish line.
As much as they want to enjoy the race, they have done that to a level. Maybe just one or two more athletes to cross, one or two more marathoners to cross the finish line. And they are actually moving in that direction where the stage is set for party time. I mentioned show day earlier. Manny, how much of music performances have we got?
I've got a couple of musical performances to come. maybe not your typical, you know, A-list artists you would expect, but I mean, these artists are big in their own rights, and this is an opportunity for them to thrill the crowd here today. And I mean, they were trying to make the most of it, make the most out of it. This is over for now. Still got more runners.
Exactly. This is not even the 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
And the young boy is really running so fast. Let me have a bottle of water, please. I can't kill myself in that sense.
And he walks to get it.
I would be surprised if he empties that bottle. Since he's a marathoner.
We will not stop.
All things bright and beautiful. All creatures great and small. That's the small one, actually.
A step in the right direction. We're taking a very good step. We're taking the step in the right direction. And working with the organizers, the Athletic Federation, the various bodies, I'm sure that we will get to that point. If you look at this game, you look at the coastal road which was used, it's giving the game a facelift, an uplift. If you had one of the organizers, and he did say this is a very good development for the, you know, for the marathon. So certainly, working with Lagos State government and our partners, certainly with the support of the organizers, I mean the World Athletic Federation, the Nigerian Athletic Federation, we will get there. It's not for us to say it is tomorrow, but one assurance I know and I won't give you that we will get there. The commitment is there, the passion is there, and it's for the overall good of Nigerians and for humanity. Thank you.
Well, talking about musical performance, we've got Advantage, one of the artists to perform here today. We've got Black Snow, and we've got Shodi, like you mentioned. Tony Band also will be performing here to the delight of the spectators here. We've got representatives from the World Athletics here today also. Sure, they've had a wonderful time from the smiles, from their conversations. Get us that platinum knee belt next.
Shout out also to the great sponsors and partners for this great 11th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. So thank you to all of you who have made this a possibility. That's another man who has crossed the finish line. On beat number 2126. Not an easy task. Saying things you cannot do, you should do as much as you can to celebrate and also encourage those who are doing it. This one goes down straight. I think he's pulled something. If you're getting some support, but I think he just wants to stay there.
While we've seen the 42-kilometer race, we've got the 10-kilometer race just about to take off. The race course remains the same. And these runners will be hoping that they will be happy come the very end of the race. And after 3 hours of 42-kilometer racing, this is the time for the 10-kilometer runners to show that they're fit and ready. Well, the fun part of it is also there, it's also included. Hopefully they have a fun time themselves as they partake in this one.
should have lots of Nigerians here. This is what they do regularly. And, makes it all fun for them, actually. You've also got lots of celebrities running this race. You get to start seeing them one at a time, rather. I will start also mention their names to you as they are picked by the camera.
Got prize money for the 10-kilometer race. Just to let you know that something is at stake. First position will go home with a sum of 500,000 naira. A second position with a sum of 400,000 naira. Third position 300. Fourth position 200. And fifth position 100,000 naira. Just having fun before the start.
As expected, actually. It's not business as usual. It's like you have for the 42 kilometers race. This is where you have the large number of athletes, just fun athletes in that sense.
Of the annual Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Yetunde Olopade joins us now. All right, this year's edition, there's some freshness that was introduced, like the new coastal road that was used and all that. What does this tell you, or how far do you think competition of this tournament can go? We are looking at getting to the platinum, which is the highest level. Are we ready for that?
Oh yes, definitely. This year's edition has been so amazing, from the planning to the engagement, to people training and sending in all their personal training videos. It's been so amazing. And of course, you know, we thought to give the world a new course. So we thought to do a new race. Well, it's 11th year, and we thought to bring a new flavor to the race. So, you know, that necessitated us bringing in the new coastal road. The coastal road is a good run. It's a good course for any runner, good air to breathe in, and it's a straight journey, just one turn curve. So I want to believe that from next year, you know, we bring in more top runners to do the race, and then, you know, we can go on to apply for the platinum label. And of course, you know, after meeting up the cutoff mark, because your runners have to run under 210. So we're hoping it will get better. Just now we've had, the mark was 211. So, I mean, that tells us that it's a good course. So for next year, we'll try and beat the course, and, you know, we'll try and beat the time, and then we can apply for the platinum label.
So we're quickly going to the MD, or the CEO of the Lions.
Hello, please.
Well, I mean, I would have wanted a lower time, like a sub 2 hours 9 seconds, but we did it 2 hours 11 seconds, so we still have a long way to go. I don't think the platinum is coming next year, but all thanks to the governor, the prize money is increased to $75,000, you know, so hopefully next year better runners will come and we'll be able to narrow it.
I know it takes a long time for us to get to that level, but have we started the process? I
just described the process that I was told by Lions Sports that they are going. And you can see that 2 vice presidents from the World Athletics are here. That's the head of road running in World Athletics. So everybody's looking at ways to make it a better race. Thank you.
Held so high on the other side of the spectators gathered right there. And I tell you, it makes it really beautiful. a view of what we have right there. It's already happening. The cheerleaders are already dancing their way through. A mix of green and blue. A perfect blend for Valentine's. It doesn't have to have the red that you are waiting for. You could make that time for you and your loved ones. They are telling you this is our color right here for this race. Side attractions getting really interesting, and we are getting closer to even more party.
So see proceedings for himself as regards the
marathon at least 3 times, and I like to think I am one of the biggest supporters of the event. I came across it maybe 9 years ago in a meeting with Chief Solomon Ogba. We had just we were in Monaco, and he told me about this new marathon that had just been started in Nigeria's most popular city, and I thought, yeah, let's help you make it bigger, better, and here we are 10 years later. Gold label event, great finish line, great elite field, that vibe. Oh, what's not to love?
All right, yes, you are here to help us, support us, so that we can get to that level, which is the platinum. I know it's not an easy race. We are still getting there. But from what you've seen so far, you've been here for 3 years now. Are we working, well to get to that level? Oh yeah, the event is definitely improved. The new race course makes managing operations easier. I was not on the course, but I've been told that it was clean. When it comes to getting the platinum label, it all comes down to the quality of the elite field that an event is able to get. It's not easy when the marathons are held in, let's say, warmer conditions, because professional athletes, at the end of the day, they will be looking at their own interests, right? So they want fast races, they want good weather, but the willingness is there, the political willingness is there, the funding is there, so why not to dream? Thank you so much. All right, then you heard from, what's your name again? Writing to get to the platinum, which is the
from
biggest
the
level.
ground where everybody's dancing away, having fun, to the point where the 10-kilometer race is going to be starting. It's a beautiful switch. We'll be having more of this as we're enjoying every beat of the 10-kilometer race from the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2026. We've seen some beautiful stuff earlier, I tell you. The race where you saw Dinke do it again after she did it in 2021 for the women. I will get you the list of how it all went down from number 1, and those who actually will be getting something out from these races, both for men and women in a bit. Don't forget, there is still something to watch. And you can see the large number of participants for the 10-kilometer race. You know, Nigerians will dominate this one. Who will take the 500,000 naira home? Who will take the 400,000 naira home for the second? Who will take the 300,000 naira home for the third? Questions that will be answered by how much tenacity and how much energy you can put into the game itself, the race itself. a wider view of what will be happening in the beats. Talking about the 10-kilometer race. We can't wait for that to start. Just like I mentioned earlier, we got some top runners for the men's, just for the men's race earlier. For the 42 kilometers, we had the top 10, or we have the top 10 rather. Ezra Kipchumba Kering won it. Lomoy Samuel came second. Namotala Kefa Lumbasi came third. Cornelius Keyboard Chepcock came fourth. Number 5 is Anibense Gezu. Number 6 is Alex Oloy Tip Corio. We'll have number 7 as Keep to Edwin. Number 8 is Wilson Cherut. Number 9 is Hymanot Mosier Delele. And number 10 for the men's 42 kilometers race that we saw earlier is Agonaf Bekele Shifirao. Congratulations to the top 10 athletes. That's what it is when you talk about consistency, you can do it. Names that you never expected made it happen this time around. 42 kilometer race. Getting really set. They just want it to be near perfect before the kick starts. The race is up. 10 kilometers race is up. And you can see them running so fast like they are going to finish it in a couple of seconds. What a race it is, and what a start we've just seen. It's not about how quick you start for a marathon race. You can see them running with all pace, and you're wondering how this person is going to run for all 10 kilometers with that same pace. 500,000 at stake, 300,000 for third, 400,000 for second. You can see them running all the way as quickly as possible. And you ask the question again, can you keep this pace for the whole race? A question that will be answered in a couple of seconds, or in a couple of minutes rather. The race has just started at Grace Garden Event Center in Lekki, and we're finishing at the same venue where we had the 42 kilometers race, Eco Atlantic City, Victoria Island. We switch gears now to what we have on the other side, what is happening as the event is actually currently ongoing. And I love what I'm seeing. What a beautiful event. The MCs are just lined up, just showing you the other side of it, so we don't just enjoy races alone. The side attractions are very much live.
Shining light on this. Thank you. What we are all about here. Thank you, Nigeria media. Thank you, international media. We are grateful. But while we do all this also, we have been set for the mega presentation. If you plan 42 kilometers, that's a long treatment.
Beautiful scene right there. You can see Chief Swore, one of the MCs for this event. You also see the legendary name right there, the big name as far as Master of Ceremonies is concerned. While we're having that, guys that started this race like a sprint, the 10 kilometers is currently ongoing, and you can see the pace is keeping up with. The question now is he going to finish that? Can he run like this for all 10 kilometers? Can he run like this for all 10 kilometers? A question that will be answered in a bit. We'll turn back to the stage, and we'll also be switching gears in a bit to what is happening in the race. And the stage is very much live in front of you, just on the right-hand side of your screen.
Thank you.
Let's see what is happening on that side, where fans are also waiting.
By the way, they have a beautiful stand at the 10-kilometer finish line, Power Oil, one of our premium sponsors. Go there. If you do well, you will collect one company of oil. Oil don't cost. Use and take 2 pots of beans. It will go far well. Mama, not they laugh. You don't get picking for us. Don't worry you. Some of you know how to borrow your neighbor's oil. You won't go and change with Power Oil and get something. Toby, get me?
Yeah.
We are still looking at what does Access Bank. I want to go to VIP. I want to talk to you. What to describe the marathon? What?
Amazing, she said. Thank you very much.
That's soft, I like it. Okay.
Thank you very much. Go on. Okay now.
Lagos. Now coming from Old Lake to Lagos. Now, you part.
Swore. Come on stage, please.
Your range cannot go further than that, baby.
Swore, please come on stage.
I'm ahead of them, I shoot at you. I'm a fucking baller.
For grassroots sports.
Back on the race again, that man is still just right in front. Like I mentioned earlier, the race started from the Grace Garden Event Center in Lekki, the 10 kilometers race. We've seen that for 42 kilometers. We've seen the completion of the top 8 for both men and women. Everybody actually has rounded off. And we're focusing on what we have.
On grassroots sports development.
At 10 kilometers right here. Don't forget that there will still be media presentation for the athletes that had finished, that had the top 3 finishes for their podium. And how
we have the person of Adeyinka Adeboye with us, the SSA on grassroots sports development.
Thank you very much.
Yes, what's your take on this year's edition of this tournament?
You see, every year we've been improving. This is the 11th edition of Lagos City Marathon. What you've seen so far shows our youth participating. Even Nigeria have not won it before, but we can see what our youth are doing. Our youth are participating, not only Nigerian youth all over the world. It shows we are getting it right. And I want to tell you, with the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President, we have a lot of program, and we can't talk of sport without mentioning youth development. Obviously, here so far, we've seen a lot of youth participating, and so far so good. It has been excellently well. 11th edition, give it to Ninayo, give it to National Sport Commission, give it to Lagos State Sports.
Okay, now last year you promised that there were some works on the ground that you are doing to ensure that Nigeria, gets to be at the podium, in subsequent edition. Have you started that process already?
Yeah, we started the process, and you can see we are approaching. We're talking about the gold. Now, what Nigeria have done now, you can see the Coastal Road. For the first time, you can see a race properly organized. Every year it has been properly organized, but this year is different. We use a new road, It shows the new work of Ashoibola Tinubu is working at the new Coastal Road. It shows to the whole world the president is working. And I can assure you that we are particular about our youth program. We are particular about the school game, principal corps, and all these youth programs that elevate all our athletes to go to the podium race. Thank you, God bless you.
And they've just gone past the Lekki toll gate, edging closer to the Zumbambadiwe. 8 minutes gone already. We're closing down on 9 minutes. A beautiful scene of what you have around Lekki. The Zumbambadiwe axis. You can see casting moving on the other side because we have no business there. It's just one place blocked. And the athletes are really competing. And you wonder, where are the others that started this race? But like I asked earlier, do we have a winner from these three who have separated themselves? It's going to be a long one. You're just wondering how soon these guys will finish the race.
You should participate. Oh yeah. Yes, because it's going to be fun all the way. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be jumping.
If you're just joining us, this is still the 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, the 11th edition. Done with the 42 kilometers race, we are now in the 10 kilometers race. This is the voice from the commentary box, Azubuike Onitsha, taking you through this one. Almost 10 minutes have gone for this race. And maybe should have 45 minutes at least. You can see this man keeping up. You just believe he can do this one. Energy is top notch at this point. You just hope that he's going to get it to the end. Interesting race, I tell you. Man still setting the pace, holding strong and wanting to win this one. He must have thought about it. And no pain, no gain, like Manny said earlier. Great event showing you what it looks like on that axis. High-rise buildings. Apartments on the sides. But don't get carried away. You have to focus your eyes on why we are here today. This man is really outpacing every other person. 21,815 is his beat number. Watch out for him. Actually, he has his eyes on the prize. He knew he couldn't compete with the Kenyans, with the Ethiopians. He knew he couldn't hold it strong when he got to running against those guys. But look at what he's doing right here. Holding strong and feeling like, yes, he can make it happen. I tell you, it's a very, very interesting race we are seeing at this point. But like I mentioned earlier, this man, would he be able to do it from start to finish? We're going into the 30-minute mark of the 10-kilometer race. Like I mentioned earlier, we say congratulations once again to Ezra Kipchumba Kering, who won the race for the first 2 kilometers this year. Never been on the podium, but did a great job this time around. The boy Samuel came second, and Namutala Kefa Lumbasi finished third in the race. That's for the 42 kilometers. And now we are on the 10 kilometers race. Somebody's asking, how soon will this round off? I tell you, it's getting really interesting. This man has set the pace. Nobody in front of him. Nobody even behind him. What a good rate he's running at this point in time. The 10 kilometers race is also a very interesting one. That long distance road running competition over a distance of 6.2 miles. It's also referred to as the 10K road race. Or you can just call it 10K. Those of you who are hearing that for the first time, it is one of the most common types of road running events alongside the shorter 5K and longer half marathon, and even the marathon race, which is the one we saw earlier. The 10K marathon is something really, really interesting. I wish I could just have the energy to run these races. But I don't think I can. Let me focus on the one I do, run my commentaries, do my analysis. I maybe play some football, even as my knee gets healed. The world records for the 10K road distance are 26.24 minutes for men, held by runners Kipruto in 2020. And 29.49 minutes for women. And that's by Jocelyn Jepkowski in 2017. This man doing it in under 30 minutes. It's going to be really difficult for him. But we should be looking at 40 minutes in this race. Yeah, a lot of distractions by the side. You see athletes jumping in like they have been leading the race, but it's almost no way. And he's really checking his time. And you're wondering, how is he holding strong? Why is there nobody behind him? As you're enjoying the race, you're also seeing the lovely high-rise buildings and the beautiful scenery. Like I said, people love the paparazzi. A lot of people on the road just doing their thing. Maybe they had waited for so long. And you can see the cheerleaders also cheering him, having some water for himself. Not much to put in his mouth, just to get his body hydrated. And I love the pace he has kept. Kudos to that man. The question now is, will he win this race? Will there be anybody to come and take over from him? It's going to be a very, very tough one. What a race. Still on Ozumba Mbadiwe. A race that he started from that particular place earlier. That's the Grace Garden Event Center. It's just around law school at this point in time. It's just holding strong, I tell you. You just wonder how he outpaced every other person. But like I said earlier, marathon races we've seen a couple of times, not as fast as you start is what matters, is how you finish that matters. But the energy for this guy is top-notch. He knew he couldn't do it against the Kenyans and Ethiopians like I mentioned earlier. But look at what he's doing. He's just gone to register for the 10,000 kilometers. And he's doing really greatly well. A lot of obstructions, but I love the fact that he's not distracted. He's just focused on the race. If you just join us, this is the 2026 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, the 11th edition. We've seen 10 earlier. We've seen the 42 kilometers also round off. And this is the 10-kilometer race, where you also get a couple of celebrities, which will be seeing their faces much later. But we're focusing now on the leader of the race. This is cutting through and getting closer to the finish line. Maybe halfway. As we get to the 19-minute mark. He intentionally separated himself. Ran so fast like it was a sprint race from the start. Had about 2 guys beside him. But consistency and the energy shows that he has been training for this. He has his eyes on the prize. 500,000 naira for first position. 400,000 naira for second position. 300,000 naira for third position. And this man feels that he can get that 500,000 box. Great race from him. We're nearing the 20-minute mark. This man is just closing down to Deku. You see him snatch water on the road. He needs to have something for himself. Could that be some sign of sportsmanship? It's a day of love, actually. Like I mentioned earlier, eyes on the prize. Can he do it in about 30 minutes? Like I mentioned for the men, the record time is just over 26 minutes, which was set just about 5 years ago. This Nigerian is pushing all through. Ronex Kipruto is the man who set that record in 26 minutes, 24 seconds in the year 2020 for the 10K road distance race. And you have the women's record for 10K races. Joycelyn Chepkoke in 2017, she did it in 29 minutes and 43 seconds. So you keep asking that question, can we have it happen again? Can a Nigerian do it? Maybe impossible, but one thing for sure is that he most likely will be winning this one. But don't be surprised that people will pull from behind. Guys who have saved their energy. As you enjoy the race, also enjoy the beautiful scenery. The fact that even lovers are running in their pairs. When they get tired, they just take a walk. We don't have to spend millions or thousands or hundreds of thousands of naira to celebrate Valentine's. The Lagos City Marathon has made it really easy. I must say shout out to Access Bank, the lead sponsor, and every other sponsor who have made this happen. Almost 22 minutes now for this race. This man is just keeping tabs and focus on it. Great motivation from him. Looking at all that's walking is not slowing him down. It just focuses on the race. Finds his direction. Back to the place where it's happening. We're having celebrities, we're having fans, we're having spectators enjoy everything right here. It's fully entertainment packed. DJ also doing his thing to keep everybody alive. right here, the 2026 Lagos, Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. And I tell you, it's all beautiful at this point. Back here again, the man is still just doing all he can, running his race and putting all his energy to it. Continually outpacing every other person as he closes down to the Atlantic City. 24 minutes gone already. Just a view of what it looks like at this point. The fans are also happy.
The Director General of the Lagos State Sports Commission in the person of Leko Fatodu, he has been here. He was at the press conference yesterday. He has been here from the start to the end of the race. Just want to get his thoughts, what he feels on this year's edition. So Leko Fatodu, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Let's get your thoughts on this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. What are the positives for the Lagos State Sports Commission and also for Lagos State for you?
I mean, this 2026 race is particularly unique and exceptional for us because we call it the decade for platinum. We started from bronze label to silver to gold that we are presently, and by such transition and elevation, we are positioning Lagos and Nigeria in the global map of international competitions and events. Also, we are using the opportunity to advance the cause and the advocacy for awareness and promotion of health within our society. We are very excited that not many people, we know that not many people will do the 42 kilometers, but we have different categories of people who are for the first time being motivated to come out to run. And the purpose of this run is to challenge their states of well-being and to also improve their health. So what Lagos State government is doing is to connect sports to socio-economic outcomes in terms of productivity. So a healthy man or life is one that can be more effective and more productive at work. And researchers have shown that by running, by walking, and by engaging in an event of this nature, you are actually elongating your life and also giving opportunity for productivity and better outcomes in many things that you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that's how we'll be dropping the anchor today on today's presentation, or coverage rather, of this year's Access Bank Lagos City. I'm still carrying my bag again. I know that will be saying that why you carry your bag. So this is how we wrap up today's edition. Like I told you earlier, we have winners in the male category. Unfortunately, I went to the media desk to get the winners in the female category and the first Nigerian male and female, but I wasn't able to get that. So that's how we're wrapping up. So but subsequently, we'll be giving you all those information in our news bulletin on Lagos Television today. Thanks for watching. I am Ijo Machi. We also have Kayode with me here this morning. I also have Alfa, that was the driver that brought us here. So that's how we wrap up today's edition on the coverage of this year's edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.